Hello students, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever you wish to get according to your timing. So this is Manish Kumar teaching you Lesson in India for class 10 CBSE syllabus. Students, in last class we have discussed about the advent of Gandhi in Indian politics. In that particular topic we have seen when the First World War was going on and when Britishers were started force recruitment in India, on that time a great personality namely Mahatma had entered in Indian politics. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, who is popularly known as Bapu or Mahatma Gandhi, returned to India in 1915, and then after he had started touring different parts of India to understand the condition of India and the sufferings of Indians. He was very much acquainted with such kind of notion that Indians were exploited under the British rule because he had already tasted the bitter fruits of colonial government in South Africa, where he was worked for the interest of the Indians. He started his flight for Satyagraha at first in South Africa. If you remember, in last class I have stated that Satyagraha is not a new idea for Indians. Satyagraha always being a part of Indian lifestyle. It was the essence of Vedas. It has been preached in Vedas regarding the quest for truth and non-violence. Lord Mahavir, Gautam Buddha, they had already taught about the things. But what is creativity lies in Gandhi? Gandhi used these values, this religious practice, this religious ethics in the politics. And he used Satyagraha as a weapon of political desire to win more and more rights and independence for India. So, today we are going to discuss about the early experiments of Gandhi on Satyagraha in India. When Gandhi returned back to India in 1950, so he had started his touring different parts of India and also decided to start some movement so that Indians could understand the meaning of Satyagraha. In 1915, he started touring, and then after knowing about the Indians, he first started his movement. It is rather called experiment of Satyagraha on Indian land in Champaran. That is called Champaran movement. Where is Champaran? At present, today we can associate Champaran as a Motihari district in modern days Bihar. What was the condition of Champaran? Why Gandhi had started this Champaran movement? This Champaran movement is also called Indigo Planters Movement. Just try to understand what it means. Actually, there was a system in Champaran district. On that time, there was a system of Teen Kathiya system of farming. It is indigo cultivation. Teen Kathiya. What is the meaning kattha of land, a farmer has to grow indigo in 3 kattha. Kattha is a unit of land measurement. What I mean to say, यदि एक किसान 20 कट्ठे की जमीन पे खेती करता है तो उस किसान की ये मजबूरी होती थी कि वो उस जमीन के 3 कट्ठे पे, out of 20 kattha, a farmer had to grow indigo in 3 kattha of land. This is called Teen Kattiya system. This was the period of Bitiya Raj. On that time, in Europe, Industrial Revolution had already been started. England emerged as one of the largest exporter of textile, kapade. Oh, for the purpose of textile industry, they require dye, color for coloring the clothes. And indigo is a natural dye. So that they require. On seeing a huge profit in indigo trade, a number of European traders leased the land in Champaran. And they hired farmers, or they had also given those lands on rent to the planters, farmers in Champaran. But there was a condition. Farmers had to grow indigo in its 3 kattha of land out of 20 kattha. This is the things that you have to remember. Now, what had happened? So there was a great demand of dyes in Europe, and Indian farmers were compelled to grow indigo. Now, what were the consequences related to indigo? Understand? Actually, this indigo, जिसको हिंदी में कहते हैं नील, indigo required more and more labor force and irrigation facilities for a good production. So it is a labor intensive and required more and more capital. Means farmer has to give more and more for the indigo plantation. At the same time, there is one consequences are there. Since indigo required more and more water also, so it just goes against the growth of the other crops that are going to same land. What I have said, out of 20 kattha, 3 kattha of land is going to be used for growing indigo, and rest of the land is made available for growing the rest of the crops. But this indigo needs more and more water, so that affect the growth of the other crops. Number 2, once a land is used for growing indigo for a number of consecutive years, that ultimately lead to decrease in the fertility of the land. तो क्या किसान बहुत ही इस व्यवस्था से बचेंगे. Indian farmers or farmers at Champaran were very much reluctant to grow indigo. Please note down the question. Why did the indigo farmers in Champaran reluctant to grow indigo? The reason is, number 1, it is a capital intensive and labor intensive farming that required more and more labor force and capital investment. Number 2, growing indigo for consecutive years. This lead to decline in the fertility of the soil and ultimately lead to the barren land. And next, what I have said, this particular indigo do not allow farmers to grow other crops as indigo required more and more water, so the productivity of other crops on the same land is going to be affected. So this was the scenario. So farmers were very much reluctant. Meanwhile, developments were going on, and in Europe, synthetic dye has been going to be used. Means synthetic dye, chemicals have been discovered, and now those chemicals are going to be used in textile industry. Then what had happened? Synthetic colors have been used in textile industry that lead to decline in the demand of indigo. So demand of indigo has declined, means now these farmers, those who were engaged in growing indigo, now their income has going to be reduced. But at the same time, the owners of those land, especially these were the British, they had just transferred their burden on the farmers by raising more and more taxes. So this is a kind of injustice. एक तरफ तो किसानों की आमदनी घट गई और दूसरी तरफ क्या हो गई कि इन किसानों के ऊपर उन्होंने टैक्स भी बढ़ा दिया अपने लॉस को कॉम्पनसेट करने के लिए. अब क्या होगा? Now farmers were under the great burden for the purpose of paying the taxes. These plantation owners were not going to give any relaxation for the farmers. तो एक तो किसानों की जमीन बंजर हो रही है इंडिगो के कारण, और दूसरी क्या हो रही है कि उनके ऊपर टैक्स भी बढ़ा दिया. So this was a very unhuman system prevailing in Champaran, and farmers were just dying because once they failed to pay taxes on due time, they were just dismissed from the land. They had to leave those land. So now there was a question for getting 2 square meals of a food. In that scenario, when Gandhi was on tour, one person, a small landlord of Champaran, Rajkumar Shukla, met Gandhi and requested to visit Champaran to see the condition of indigo farmers. On his invitation, Gandhi come to Champaran in 1917. One more thing is there. Actually, in somewhere in books, it has been written in 1916. Please correct it. It is 1917. Gandhi reached Champaran and he saw the condition of indigo farmers. They were dying. It's a very, very poor condition over there. In that scenario, Gandhi had started the Champaran Satyagraha against the injustice practice of this Teen Katiya system. And Gandhi got success. The British government had to review the rules and they had given the relaxation for the farmers. So it was the first victory of Satyagraha as a political weapon in India. This raised the popularity of Gandhi. This also introduced a new weapon named Satyagraha based on truth and non-violence in India. Just understand, Satyagraha is very much easy to follow. Seems to be very much easy, but actually it is not as easy as it seems. As Satyagraha means what? While Gandhi explaining the characteristics of a Satyagrahi, means those who are following the Satyagraha, Gandhi added very remarkable thing. A true Satyagrahi never give up, and a true Satyagrahi never lose his or her patience. He always remained polite against facing injustice by the hands of his own enemy. Means शत्रु के सामने भी, ऑपरेसर के सामने भी एक सत्याग्रही कभी भी अपने संयम को नहीं खोएगा और कभी वो हिंसा नहीं करेगा, न मन से, न वचन से, न कर्म से। उसके लिए बुरा भी नहीं सोचेगा। गांधी कहते हैं बुरे से नहीं, बुराई से नफरत करो। एक्चुअली गांधी had great belief in the goodness of human being. Gandhi states that the soul of human being is pure. It is the essence of God. The Paramatma is there. So once, if the enemy had been convinced about his deeds, that the person you are going wrong, the person will realize, and that is the victory. So these are the scenarios. Sometime over here, I would like to add few more things. We are having misconception regarding the idea of Satyagraha, and I become very much sad when I met some young people, those who were claiming, actually blaming Gandhi, that Satyagraha is a kind of cowardice. Gandhi ने हमें डरपोक बनना सिखाया. One thing I would like to add over here: Satyagraha doesn't mean cowardice. Gandhi states that Satyagraha is the weapon of strong, not the weapon of weak. क्या मतलब है? गांधी तो कहते हैं कि कोई आपके ऊपर अत्याचार करता हो तो आप उसके प्रति हिंसा नहीं करेंगे, आप प्रतिकार करेंगे। किस रास्ते? सत्याग्रह के रास्ते, बिना हिंसा किए हुए अहिंसा के रास्ते। अब बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग बात है, अहिंसा के रास्ते का मतलब क्या है? अहिंसा यहां पे सर यू मे आस्क द क्वेश्चन, कोई मुझे गाली देगा मैं उसे छोड़ दूंगा? सर मैं उसका मुंह सब फाड़ दूंगा। दिस इज द थिंग। तो गांधी यहां क्या कहते हैं? गौर करिए, इंटरेस्टिंग बात। गांधी कहते हैं, जब वो कहते हैं कि सत्याग्रह इज द वेपन ऑफ अ स्ट्रॉन्ग नॉट अ वीक, तो व्हाट ही मीन टू से? वो कहते हैं कि यदि आपको आपके दुश्मनों ने घेर लिया और वहां पे आपको लगा कि आप कमजोर हैं, तो आप भाग जाएंगे और फिर उसको घेर करके मारेंगे। गांधी कहते हैं भागना नहीं। Even you feel that your enemy is strong in physical force and having its own military and all, never give up. Stand over there because you are at the path of truth and justice. Be polite and resist. आप उसका विरोध करेंगे, कैसे? अहिंसक होकर के। Politely you have to convince your enemy. आप बोलेंगे सर वो पीटेगा, हम उसको समझाएंगे। Yes, I have already stated the condition. On that time, India was under the British rule. They were having the power, military, police. They all belongs to them. और हिंसा करेगा और हिंसा से करेंगे तो ये अंतहीन लड़ाई होगी। तो एक कॉमन भारतीय के लिए ये सबसे बेहतरीन तरीका था कि हम सामने वालों को बिना हथियार के जीतने का प्रयास करें। हिंसा से आप किसी के शरीर पे विजय प्राप्त कर सकते हैं, परंतु उसके मस्तिष्क को, उसके हृदय को नहीं जीत सकते। Gandhi, when trying to explain about the ahimsa, he was trying to emphasize to win the heart and minds of the enemy. एक बार वो बंदा अगर आपसे कन्विंस हो गया तो कभी आपके ऊपर हथियार नहीं है, कभी ये प्रैक्टिस करके देखो। एक चीज और मैंने कहा कि जो बंदा सत्याग्रही होगा वो कभी गिव अप नहीं करेगा, भले ही डंडे पड़े, लेकिन वो इस चीज की बात हमेशा कहेगा कि वो सही रास्ते पे और सामने वाला गलत है। प्लीज डोंट ट्राई टू रिलेट दिस विथ मुन्ना भाई MBBS गेट वेल सून, क्योंकि वहां पर एक चीजों को फिर से मैं क्लियर करूंगा कि कई बार हम गांधी को कहते हैं कि गांधी कहते थे कि अगर आपके कोई एक गाल पे मारे तो दूसरा गाल बढ़ा दो। नोवेयर इट हैज बीन रिटन, नोवेयर, नथिंग, गांधी नेवर सेड दिस। Once upon a time when Gandhi had been asked between violence and cowardice, what you will choose, मतलब हिंसा और कायरता में से अगर आपको कोई एक चुनना पड़े तो आप क्या चुनेंगे? गांधी स्पोक एम्फसाइज कि यदि हिंसा और कायरता से मुझे एक चुनना पड़े तो मैं हिंसा को चुनूंगा। अब बात समझिए, अगर आपको डंडे का भय होगा तो आप रुकेंगे नहीं, आप भाग जाएंगे, आप बिल्कुल नहीं रुकेंगे, आप वहां से भाग जाएंगे। ये है डरपोक होना। लेकिन आप वहां स्टैंड करते हैं, यू हैव टू स्टिक विथ योर कन्विक्शन एंड अपोजिंग योर ओपोनेंट, योर एनिमी, कि नो यू आर एट रॉन्ग पॉइंट। सो ये एक कायर का काम नहीं हो सकता है, जिसे मृत्यु का भय नहीं हो, जिसे अपनी चोट का भय नहीं हो। वो दुश्मन के सामने, अन्याय के सामने, अधर्माई के सामने खड़े होकर के अपनी बात को कह रहा है कि सर आप गलत हैं, आप कभी विचार करें, आप अन्याय कर रहे हैं। यहां कायरता नहीं है, मानवता है। बिकॉज गांधी बिलीव इन द गुडनेस ऑफ ह्यूमन बीइंग। और ये हुआ भी ऑन अ नंबर ऑफ ओकेजन व्हेन द ब्रिटिश पुलिस हैज बीन ऑर्डर्ड टू do lathi charge of the satyagrahis, they refused to do, as they questioned why we should do lathi charge of them. They all were unarmed, they were protesting peacefully. So this was the moral victory. This half naked beggar, later on Gandhi has been recognized as a half naked beggar, अधनंगा फकीर। जब ये खड़ा होता था तो पूरी दुनिया इनकी ओर देखती थी। इंग्लैंड की सरकार थर्राती थी इस आधे नंगे फकीर से। ये उसकी ताकत क्या थी? यही अहिंसा, सत्याग्रह। सो इट शुड बी वेरी मच क्लियर। इस मॉडर्न जनरेशन में हम गांधी को कायरता का प्रतीक समझते हैं, वो डरना सिखाते हैं? बिल्कुल नहीं। सो सत्याग्रह इज द वेपन ऑफ स्ट्रॉन्ग। सत्याग्रह इज अ पैसिव रेसिस्टेंस। वन मोर थिंग इज देयर, सत्याग्रह याद रखिएगा, सत्याग्रह इज अ पैसिव रेसिस्टेंस। व्हाट आई सेड, पैसिव। ये मतलब क्या होता है पैसिव? नॉट, इट डजंट मींस दैट यू हैव टू नॉट रेसिस्ट। ये इनएक्टिव नहीं है, ये पैसिव रेसिस्टेंस है। सही है? गलत। पैसिव नहीं, इसको कहते हैं एक्टिव रेसिस्टेंस। स्टूडेंट्स ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड। इसका मतलब है आप लोगों ने वर्कआउट नहीं किया है, आपने किताब नहीं पढ़ी है। मतलब कहने को है बिखलोड़ा पर पत्थर काला, 36 बराबर 16 दुनिया। अगर सामने वाला कुछ गलत बोल दे तो आप बोलेगा यस सर, यस सर, यस सर। आई एम टेस्टिंग योर नॉलेज। सो कमिंग बैक टू द पॉइंट, सो गांधी emphasized that सत्याग्रह इज एन एक्टिव रेसिस्टेंस। हम पीठ पीछे किसी की बुराई करें, उसके पीछे बताएंगे वो गलत है, लेकिन सामने बोले कि सर सही है। अगर हम सामने किसी को बोलते हैं कि सही है, भले ही वो गलत है, पीठ पीछे बोलते वो गलत है, दिस इज कॉल्ड पैसिव रेसिस्टेंस। एक्टिव रेसिस्टेंस कि आप सामने आकर के उसे सुधारने का प्रयास करते हैं, ट्राइंग टू कन्विंस द पर्सन दैट यू आर एट रॉन्ग। दैट इज कॉल्ड एक्टिव रेसिस्टेंस। तो जब एक्टिव रेसिस्टेंस है तो क्वालिटी नहीं है, कायरता नहीं है। दैट इज द वेपन ऑफ स्ट्रॉन्ग। जो बहादुर होंगे, जिनमें विल पावर होगी, जिसमें अन्याय के खिलाफ खड़े होने की ताकत होगी, निहत्थे और उसको सुधारने की क्षमता होगी, वही होगा सत्याग्रह। वो मुन्ना भाई एमबीबीएस में आपने देखा, एक गाल बढ़ा दिया तो सर्किट, दूसरा गाल भी बापू ने कहा है बढ़ा देने को। ऐसा कहीं बापू ने नहीं कहा है, ये केवल मिथ्या प्रचार है, भ्रम है। बच्चों, हमें इस भ्रम से निकलना चाहिए। गांधी को समझने के लिए गांधी के कैरेक्टर को समझना होगा, पढ़ने से समझ नहीं आएगी। यू हैव टू कीप योरसेल्फ इन दैट पर्टिकुलर पीरियड एंड ट्राई टू सी द कंडीशन एंड एक्ट ऑफ गांधी इन दैट सिचुएशन। यू हैव टू चेंज। चश्मा बदलना पड़ेगा। 21वीं शताब्दी के चश्मे से गांधी के एक्ट को समझने में दिक्कत होगी, उस परिस्थिति को आंकना। यहां से भी एक क्वेश्चन पूछा जा सकता है, जो मैंने आपको कहा कि सत्याग्रह is an active resistance, not a passive resistance discussed. तो अंदर समझिएगा, एक्टिव और पैसिव। तो कमिंग बैक टू द पॉइंट, तो जैसा मैंने कहा कि चंपारण मूवमेंट दैट वाज अगेंस्ट द किंगकटिया सिस्टम, for the indigo farmers, those who were suffering by the hands of zamindars. Mostly these were the Britishers who took the zamindaris. They leased the land and started cultivation of indigo, and Gandhi got the success after the Champaran Satyagraha. So it was the first successful movement of Satyagraha in India. So first experiment of Satyagraha in India was the Champaran Satyagraha, and it was a successful experiment. So बच्चों, आपसे पूछा जा सकता है, what was the Champaran Satyagraha? Why did Gandhi started Champaran Satyagraha? So you have to remember regarding the indigo planters, Kinkatiya system. ये चीजें ध्यान रखेंगे तो आप आसानी से लिख सकते हैं। Now, from Bihar to Gujarat, second is खेड़ा। गौर कीजिए, the range of Gandhi, बिहार से गुजरात जा रहे हैं, means he was keeping his eyes in every parts of India. तो एक जगह, एक कोने में, देश के एक हिस्से में उन्होंने सत्याग्रह की अलग जगाई, सत्याग्रह के प्रति लोगों की सोच को जगाया, उन्हें समझाया, करके दिखाया। एक बड़ी यूनिक चीज है गांधी में, गांधी बोलते नहीं थे, करते थे। He first acts, then explain. He always set an example. This is the meaning of leadership. लीडर वो होता है जो पहल करता है, लीडर वो नहीं होता है जो पीछे बैठ करके सिंहासन पर बैठा रहता है, लोगों को कहता है आगे बढ़ो। आज के नेताओं की स्थिति यही है, दे ऑर्डर, लेकिन सबसे पीछे रहेंगे। दे डोंट हैव द करेज, दे डोंट हैव दैट काइंड ऑफ मोरल विल टू लीड। कमिंग बैक टू द पॉइंट, तो अब आते हैं खेड़ा, गुजरात। यहां भी peasants were suffering a lot by the hands of the British. Peasants over Khera were suffered due to the crop failure and plague epidemic, due to which they were unable to pay taxes on time. And there was a rule: if any farmer failed to pay tax on time, the farmer was going to be dismissed from the land that was given for farming to him. So this was a kind of injustice. So Gandhi again started one satyagraha in Kheda, that is called Kheda Satyagraha, and again it was a successful satyagraha. And with the help of that satyagraha movement, Gandhi got a number of relaxation and concession for the farmers of Kheda. Third one, in 1918, again Gujarat. It was in Ahmedabad. This is called Ahmedabad Satyagraha. But interestingly, the nature of Ahmedabad Satyagraha is different from Champaran Satyagraha and Kheda Satyagraha. These two Satyagrahas are the peasants movement or peasant Satyagraha. But this is entirely different. Over here, what I have written, it is meal workers. So meal workers against the meal owners, and interestingly, meal workers and meal owners both were Indians. यहाँ पे आपने क्या देखा? Farmers against the British British zamindars कह लीजिए, British government कह लीजिए, because the rules were made by the British government. But over here, the scenario was entirely different. Indian mill workers against the mill owners who were Indians. What was the issue? What was the area of conflict over here? Actually, this was the period of First World War, as I have added. And during the First World War, the condition of India was very much poor, especially economically. These mill workers were demanding more and more wages. At the same time, Indian mill owners were not agreeing to give those raised wages. Due to that, there was locking in the factories. There were some factories run by and owned by Indian. So those cotton mills were closed. Mill workers were demanding more wages. Mill owners were not ready to give that kind of wages. In that scenario, mill workers were on the strike. Ultimately, this was harming the India's economic interest. एक चीज ध्यान रखेंगे, impact of First World War on India was overall negative, but in one sphere, India got an opportunity. It was especially the Indian industries got some opportunity to grow during the First World War. During the First World War, when British industries were busy in producing war-related goods, on that time, export from Britain to India had been reduced. Before the First World War, Indian markets were flooded with the textile manufactured in British industries. But during the war, England was unable to export that much of volume of goods to India. So this was an opportunity for the Indian industry to grow and occupy the market. So Gandhi knew that. And meanwhile, there was a strike. So that was the interest of the Indian workers and as well as the owners and overall Indians. ये मौका था उत्पादन बढ़ा करके रोजगार बढ़ाने की, आमदनी बढ़ाने की, जब इंडिया इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस में चल रही थी. उस समय हड़ताल कहीं से उचित नहीं थी. Over here, Gandhi has intervened. He supported the demands of the mill workers, but he had also opened a door for discussion and negotiation. After negotiation with the mill owners and mill workers, both they agreed to raise wages, not up to the demand, as mill workers were demanding nearly 100% wage hike. But ultimately, the consensus made upon the 33%. This was the scenario. So it was again, by the means of Satyagraha, Gandhi convinced mill workers as well as the mill owners. So this is again, the things are different. From peasant to workers, from farm owners to mill owners, a number of different groups were come to know about the idea of Satyagraha. And gradually, now the idea of Satyagraha were known to common Indians. So this was the early experiments of Gandhi. So you have to remember few things. If you have been asked about the peasant movements or peasant Satyagraha, you have to write about the Champaran and about Kheda. And this is entirely different. It is for the cotton mill workers against the Indian mill owners. So today in this particular class, what we have learned, we have seen the early experiments of Gandhi on Satyagraha in India. In that we have read about the Champaran movement, Kheda movement and Ahmedabad movement or Ahmedabad Satyagraha. Meanwhile, we have also discussed about the Tinkatia system while discussing the Champaran, and one more interesting thing, we also discuss about the idea of Satyagraha in more detail. As I have said, it is an active resistance, it is a weapon of a strong, not for the weak, and Gandhi never preferred quadrism. rather he preferred violence. So we have to very much clear, and again my suggestion is that please read the textbook. In class 8 also you people have read. If you are having class 8 book also, please go and refer the book. So try to understand, because now the Indian politics is going to center Gandhi. And whenever we are talking about Gandhi, there must be satyagraha, there must be non-violence. And then after we are going to discuss about non-cooperation movement, because these all are the part of non-cooperation movement. We are going to watch that. ये non-cooperation movement की पृष्ठभूमि तैयार हो रही है. गांधी was just awakening Indians. उनको तैयार कर रहे हैं. वो अपनी लीडरशिप भी तैयार कर रहे हैं. जनता को कन्विंस कर रहे हैं आइडिया सत्याग्रह से, और गांधी की स्वीकार्यता बढ़ रही है. और अब हम non-cooperation movement की ओर बढ़ेंगे. और इस बीच में फिर क्या होगा? British government has also introduced some rules. जैसे रॉलेट एक्ट आएगा, जालियांवाला बाग मैसेकर होगा, और रॉलेट एक्ट और जालियांवाला बाग मैसेकर के बीच में क्या आएगा? रॉलेट सत्याग्रह, जिसमें रॉलेट एक्ट का विरोध होगा, और रॉलेट सत्याग्रह के क्रम में ही इट वाज द जालियांवाला बाग मैसेकर. एंड देन आफ्टर here begins the first mass movement in India led by Gandhi. It was the non-cooperation movement. So in next class, what we will learn? We will learn about the Rowlatt Act, Rowlatt Satyagraha, Jallianwala Bagh Massacre, and Khilafat and non-cooperation movement. तो नेक्स्ट क्लास में हम लोग मिलते हैं.